Brian Wood's X-Men number 4 features two separate storylines. The first focuses on Storm, Rachel Gray, Rogue, Kitty Pryde, and Psylocke. While in their Blackbird, they receive a distress signal from a commercial flight. The X-Men jump into action to save the plane. Rachel is still upset with Storm though. Not only does she dislike that Storm has taken on a leadership role within the team, she's also upset that Storm almost killed Karima, Omega Sentinel, in the previous issue. While those two bicker, the other three women work to save the civilians. Psylocke uses her telepathic powers to form a telekinetic grappling hook. Using this tool, she connects the Blackbird to the failing airplane. Rogue then borrows some of Betsy's powers and makes her way over to the other plane. The psychic strain begins to take a toll on Betsy, and she asks Rachel to share some of the psychic load. They save the plane, but Rogue falls off in the process. Fortunately, Storm catches her before she falls to her death. In Southern California, Wolverine hangs out with Jubilee and her adopted son, Shogo. The two reminisce and discuss how much Jubilee has grown. They drive by her old house, which is now for sale. Jubilee also brings up the greatest day in her life, when she was rescued as a young mutant by the X-Men. Wolverine tells her how proud he is of her, how she has grown into a mature young woman. He also says that like with her, the greatest day in Shogo's life will be the day Jubilee saved him. Wolverine also secretly buys her old house while she takes a nap. The issue ends with Jubilee seemingly beginning a new chapter in her life.
I thought the best part of this issue was Jubilee and Wolverine really getting a chance to hang out and Jubilee getting some peace.
I'm kind of really surprised she still has that baby. I mean...
Really? I think it's a cool new addition. I think...
You don't think it's bad parenting to have a vampire just having a human baby?
I don't think she's like an out-of-control vampire, just repeatedly going out and like, killing people, sucking people's blood.
What'd you think of Wolverine buying her that house, though? I guess he hasn't told her about it yet.
He hasn't. I thought that was just hilarious. That was probably some of the worst negotiating I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think he understands how the housing market works. Or...
Yeah, first thing he offers is, I'm going to offer you 10% more than anyone else.
But the other main storyline of this issue dealt more with the actual team side with Storm and Rachel Gray, Psylocke, and Rogue.
I'm happy that Rachel is kind of confronting Storm about her actions, because honestly, I don't want to see Storm as just the leader. She's always seems to be jumping to that leadership role. I want to see someone else sort of step up.
She's respected. I think that's why.
Yeah, I mean, she's done it before, but that doesn't mean there can't be new leaders, right?
That's true.
And I think that's what Rachel is trying to say. We're the X-Men. We're not Storm and the X-Men.
She definitely referenced the past issue where Storm almost killed Karima when she was under the influence of Archaea. And obviously that caused a lot of mistrust that could continually plague the team. Who would you rather see as the leader?
Psylocke's out of the question just because I don't think she's in the right frame of mind.
Clearly not.
I think it would be cool actually to see Rachel be the leader. I don't think she's ever really had that kind of a role in most X-Men teams.
That's true. We've already seen Rogue lead a little bit in X-Men Legacy, at least the previous volume. But I actually think there's a general lack of leadership on Wolverine's side of the X-Men in general, going all the way back to Schism, I think, when he basically told Scott, you're turning the X-Men into some, paramilitary organization, and I don't think kids should have to grow up that way. I think that's a noble and just way of looking at things, but I feel like he made that decision on behalf of a vast majority of mutants and then hasn't followed through. I think he's been somewhat of an absentee leader and headmaster.
I don't think he is the headmaster anymore. But at the same time, I don't think he stepped up to become the leader. I think a lot of people agreed with his sentiment and they all left with him. And then the school itself, I think, is run as a collective. It seems that Wolverine is clearly not fit to be a complete teacher for everyone. But I think he's a pretty good mentor, like a wise old man that has seen enough in life to help younger mutants.
He should only be a mentor. I think Wolverine's side needs a definitive leader to keep people in check. If you look at his side right now... I think
he does keep people in check.
I completely disagree.
Like an enforcer, I think he's the perfect
Hank
enforcer.
Hank just pulled out 5 people from the time stream and brought them to the present. That
and you don't
is a complete lack of control. Going into Battle of the Atom, though, leadership could definitely play an important factor. So do you think Wolverine's side is going to need somebody to step up so they can have an equivalent of Scott?
I think eventually every team requires a leader to step up. It does seem that Storm is going to be that person, but I'm hoping it's going to be someone else. I think only time will tell, but it does seem that leadership is going to be the central issue for this particular team.
So for Brian Wood's X-Men section of Battle in the Atom, that's what we're going to be looking for, leadership dynamics. As a grade, though, for this issue, what would you give it?
I'm going to give this issue a 3 out of 5. I really like the small touches that they had, particularly the editorial mention of Jubilee's first appearance in Uncanny X-Men 244, but the rescue mission, I wasn't too fond of it.
I'm going to give this issue a 2.5 out of 5. I really like the first 3 issues of this series, but I feel like not too much happens. Hopefully it'll pick up again after Battle of the Atom gets underway.
Thanks for watching B3 Comics' review of X-Men number 4. Before we go, we have a question for you.
If the Jean Grey school side of the X-Men needs a definitive leader, who should it be?
Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up.
Also be sure to check back next week as we'll have a comprehensive preview for X-Men Battle of the Atom event.